Hey Boba friends, welcome to another week of encouragement. Hope you are doing well at Boba League. We have been doing a video series on how can we be a relational volleyball community. And today I want to talk about conflict. Conflict. I'm anxious, I'm scared, I want to run away from it, I don't want to deal with it. Well, if we want to be a community built on relationships and friendships, unfortunately, we cannot run away from conflict. Conflict is going to happen. And so, if we cannot avoid conflict, how can we deal with it in a healthy way at Boba League? That is the question today. And I want to tell you, the easy answer is to talk it out. Have a conversation, have dialogue, okay? If we don't talk about it, we're not dealing with it. If we don't talk about it, it's gonna help fester resentment. We're gonna get more angry and it's gonna build and build and build and not gonna deal with it, and boom, it explodes, and then there's drama, and then next thing you know, the league director has to deal with it. Ugh. All right? If Boba League members can work it out with themselves, this will really strengthen our community and build very good culture at Boba League, all right? And so I want to share 5 steps today on how we can have constructive, healthy conversations with each other as we deal with the conflicts in our leagues, all right? Number 1, calm down, okay? Check our attitude, make sure we're not heated, okay? When we are emotional, we can do a lot of dumb things or hurtful things, and we don't want that. We want to be grounded and we want to be factual and logical when we deal with it, all right? Number 2, make sure it's worth dealing with. Is this a small thing or is this a big thing? Is this a one-off? Is this just a small mistake that the person accidentally did? Or is this something that, we need to deal with it? Maybe it's a safety thing. Maybe the person has been doing intentionally and is causing problems in our league. Yeah, so make sure we assess whether it's worth it or not. Whether we can quickly forgive or we should have a good conversation to try to resolve it. All right? Number 3. Now, we need to remind ourselves before we go up and talk to a person, we have to remind ourselves that we are talking to another person, okay? We are people and they are people as well. They have emotions and feelings and they are a whole person, all right? Just as us. The reason I'm saying this is because when we approach people, sometimes we can be very judgmental and we look down on the other person. And if we are not respectful and judgmental, it is not going to be helpful to the conversation when we try to resolve a conflict, okay? We want to come with respect and treat each other as equals, all right? So we calm ourselves down, we assess whether it's worth confronting or not, and we have double checked ourselves that we are going to talk with the person as a human being. Now, then we can start a conversation. And the next step I encourage everyone to do is make sure you listen. Make sure you listen openly and letting people finish their sharing, okay? A lot of times people will feel like it's a personal attack, and we want to interject, we want to cut people off. And I ask that let's not do that. Let people finish what they're going to say, let them share their perspective, okay? Whether you are presenting the case or you are on the receiving end, hear people out, hear the full story first before you say anything, okay? And then after the next step, after listening to the full story, having perspective of both sides of the story, then respond with respect, okay? A lot of times we can easily be rude, we can be easily judgmental, and we may have the tendency to attack the other person. And we don't want that. We want, you hear counselors and social service professionals say this: use I statements. I feel this way. I feel you are blah, 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 blah. And not say you are this, you are that. Okay? We don't want to come attacking. We want to come respectful so that we can have a good conversation that can resolve conflict, okay, and de-escalate the situation. All right. So with these 5 steps, I really hope that we can be able to have a good culture where we can deal with conflict and build trust within our community. Now, there will be special incidents, special situations where this escalates further, okay? And so, if that happens, if someone intentionally violates or escalates conflict or causes more trouble for people within the community, this is then where you can bring up to the league staff and let the league take over. If you have done your part to being respectful, if you've done your part to start a conversation and try to be purposeful in trying to resolve the conversation and it's not working out, then this is where you can transfer the problem to the league so that we can handle because you've done your job. All right. So let's have good conversations. A lot of times in the league right now, I see a lot of time people come up to me like, "Hey, the person's being very rude, being over competitive. There are some Boba League rules that are not being followed." Any type of conflict, they'll come to me and complain, and I will always ask them, "Have you talked to the other person? Have you attempted to resolve the conflict with the other person?" And a lot of people will say no. And so I encourage you guys, start having conversations with the other people in our league before bringing up to us, the staff. Okay, this is a more respectful way, in my opinion, to how we can resolve things with people and be transparent and build good culture within our community. We want to move away from distrust to trust. We want to move away from accusation to conversation within the Boba League culture. All right, this is excuse me. This is huge. If we can deal with conflict in a healthy way, this is very transformative for everyone. And so I encourage you guys this week and for the other weeks to come, do your best to work things out with other people and be kind and compassionate when you do it. All right. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in this conversation, and I'll see you guys on Saturday. And yeah, take care. Bye bye.